Share that with 10 people I love, adore and admire. That's a tough ask. Let's see. There are the judges on this season of Project Runway. That's 3. There's Tim Gunn. That's obviously 4. If you count Tim Gunn twice, that's 5. But I'm still 5 short, and I am out now. And before you brush this industry off, you should know, collectively, it did around $36 billion in retail sales last year in the US. You probably know someone who is considering joining an MLM or who already has and is posting about it 10 times a day on Facebook or Instagram. And if you do know someone like that or have considered signing up yourself, this story is important. Because let me explain how the system is supposed to work. Generally, distributors have 2 main ways to make money. Sell the product itself, whether it's makeup, vitamins or health shakes, and earn money on those sales, and this is key, recruit other people into the company and get money based on their sales and the sales of people they recruit in turn. Just look at Vima. A few years ago, a hidden camera caught a then distributor for that company walking a prospective recruit through just how easy it can be.
Let's say you signed up 3 friends.
Okay.
So then you and I would help those 3 friends sign up their 3 friends and get their $700.
Okay.
Now there's 9 people there, right? Then we help those 9 people sign up their 3 different friends and they get a 7. So everyone kind of gets their money back.
Wait, you kind of get your money back? That's as reassuring as hearing a doctor say he kind of knows where your appendix is. Oh, it's probably somewhere near the spleen. And if you are thinking, well, hold on, that business structure sounds familiar, isn't that a pyramid scheme? Well, there was a journalist waiting outside to ask the exact same question.
It's not an illegal pyramid scheme. It's a direct selling network marketing company.
Is it shaped like a pyramid, the business structure?
It's shaped like a pyramid, yes.
But you're saying it's not an illegal pyramid scheme?
It's not an illegal pyramid scheme.
Oh, I get it. So it's not a pyramid, it's just pyramid-shaped. You know, like a Dorito, or an angry bird, or just a pile of bullshit. But let's put that pyramid question aside for a moment, because from the outside, these companies do have the trappings of legitimacy. Many have high-profile celebrity endorsers. Vima had noted science expert Jenny McCarthy. Advocare has esteemed ball thrower Drew Brees. And an MLM called Max International had this guy.
After more than a year of due diligence, Gina and I joined Max International as home-based distributors and media spokespersons.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall while Gina and Chuck were poring over the numbers during that year-long due diligence session. Gina with an adding machine, Chuck randomly kicking stuff. It'd be like watching Lennon and McCartney write Sgt. Pepper. Still, for many MLMs, the biggest celebrity is their founder, who can enjoy cult-like status. Just look at J.R. Reidinger, CEO of Market America. At company conferences, the guy makes quite an entrance.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, 4th string wedding chapel Elvis, calm the f*** down. And that's just his walk-on. Once he gets going, he puts on a real show, demonstrating how you can pump money, dramatising the rat race by sweatily running around in a giant wheel, and screaming at the gravestone of Joe Nobody, who never fulfilled his true potential.
Joe, come on, man. The dreams you told me about, we can actually do them now. We don't have to wait, man. It works, and I'm doing it, and I want to help you do it because it's so good. Joe, this is amazing. We can have vacations and sailboats, and we can have multiple homes, and you can give your wife the jewelry that she deserves, man. You're going to be a hero. Come on, Joe, let's do it. Get up, Joe, get up. Before it's too late, get up.
Holy shit! All I can say is, thank goodness funerals don't have a speak now or forever hold your peace section. Because he would be at every cemetery delivering motivational speeches. She lived a good life, f*** you, your grandmother died a loser. Come back to life, Ethel, you can still have that yacht. Come back to life. And the dangling of vast lifestyle improvements is at the heart of the MLM pitch. Their materials feature flashy cars and luxury travel that you can achieve. And just watch a distributor from Longevity walk you through a future dream scenario in exquisite detail.
In 2 years, this is what's going to happen to you. You're gonna drive to your work. You're going to walk into your boss's office, you're going to sit down, and you're going to quit your job. You're going to explain that that little pyramid scheme thing that you almost got terminated for last year, you're now an entrepreneur and you're going to be doing that full time.
Whoa, 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 back up, back up, back up. Did you just say pyramid scheme and then almost got terminated?
And then you're going to go out to the parking lot, you're going to get into your silver Mercedes that Longevity has paid for, and you're going to drive home. Oh, no, wait, actually, first you're going to drive to the bank.
I'm sorry, I hate to dwell on this, but you definitely said pyramid scheme back then. But I'm sorry, now we're suddenly going to the bank.
And you're going to walk into the bank, and you're going to deposit your coding bonus. And the lady's going to say, will that be checking or savings? And you're going to say, yeah, I don't really care. I get these all the time.
And then the lady's going to say, haha, that's fantastic, but I actually need to know which account this goes into. And you're going to say, makes no difference to me. And she's going to say, but I can't deposit this unless you specify which account it's policy. And you're going to say, it's all gravy. And she's going to say, how about checking? And you're going to say, I'm loving it. And she's going to say, do I need to get security? And you're going to say, the account ending in 8424, please. Now, Longevity told us that that woman's claims are not authorised by the company and are against Longevity policy, which forbids income claims. Although, that video was taken at one of their official events, and the woman, Denise Chenault, is featured with her husband on the company website with the words, Denise and Tom Chenault are Longevity. And come on, you don't let someone embody your company if you don't agree with them. If Flo turned out to run a dogfighting ring, Progressive would wipe her off their website immediately. And by the way, you know that's coming. You can see it in her eyes. There are dead dogs dancing in there. But you cannot deny the picture that she paints is enticing. Who doesn't want to tell their boss to go f*** themselves? Half my staff would do it right now if they could. But MLMs hold out the hope that if you work hard, you can take control of your life, start your own business, and help your family. But how real is the opportunity? Well, let's take a look at just one of these companies in depth, Herbalife. You saw its pitch earlier. It was the one that you were supposed to send to 10, 20, 100 people. It sells nutritional supplements like shakes and vitamins, and it's one of the biggest MLMs around, with net sales of $4.5 billion last year. It has celebrities who talk up its benefits, from superstar athletes like Cristiano Ronaldo to pretty much the last person you're expecting to see in this piece.
Well, first of all, you have a great product. That makes all the difference.
We got to tell everybody you're a product of the product.
Well, I am a product of the product. It has every combination of things that I like. It's a very good product, delivered by really good people.
Yes, that is Madeleine Albright talking to Herbalife CEO, claiming she's a product of the product. So forget studying at Columbia and Johns Hopkins. If you want to be like the first female Secretary of State, just chug a couple of vanilla-adjacent Nutri-Shakes a day and thank her in the morning. Oh, and about those products. In its early days, Herbalife was accused of overstating their health benefits, claiming in the 80s that one product helped relieve everything from venereal disease to tumours to bedwetting. And back then, their founder, Mark Hughes, was asked by a Senate subcommittee to answer experts.
Well, it worked for them in game one, right? I mean, you don't want, why go away from a strategy that was working for you so well towards the end of the game? Granted, it took them literally with no time left on the clock to find an equalizer in game one, but still, it was opening up space, and anything that you can do to throw a comfortable team off the rotation makes them then into an uncomfortable team, which you can then capitalize on.
Yeah, I mean, once you start messing with those rotations, once you start putting them tactically and strategically out of position, is when you really start to see the mistakes start to come through, because they're not where they want to be, they're not where they're supposed to be, and they're going for stuff that they're not particularly prepared for. And that's when you start to see the cracks form. That's when you see the holes start to become apparent. And it's in those situations where, if you're this Pittsburgh team, those are the situations you really need to be creating for yourself so that you can try and capitalize on it.
No, you're absolutely right. And we did have a little bit of a server issue there. We're getting that sorted out on the backside. We'll have game number 3 in just a moment once the players rejoin here. But yeah, so far it's been a pretty back and forth series, though. Even though we're tied at 1 and Pitt had a heroic win in game number 1, we kind of lost that aggressive, on the ball Pitt that we saw in overtime. I don't know why they took it out just for that one overtime session, but for the other 10 minutes of Rocket League that we have seen so far in the series, it seems like Michigan has neutralized that quite well.
Well, maybe it hasn't even really been a change for Pittsburgh. Maybe it was a change on Western Michigan. It's entirely possible that they were noticing that those demos and bump plays were putting them way too far out of position, and it was costing them, and now they might be a little bit more aware of it, a little bit more conscious and where they are in relation to the other players on the field. And it's entirely possible that they are intentionally placing themselves in positions on the field where Pittsburgh can't demo them, where they can't bump them, or where they can sort of evade it and be aware of it as an effect to try and shut it down.
And typically, at least in my experience and from watching a lot of Rocket League over my time, when you go for plays like that, when you go for kind of the mentality of let's just avoid demos, right? We're getting demoed, we're getting bumped, and it's messing us up. Let's avoid that as much as possible. Typically, that can lead to one of two things. Either that can lead to hyper aggression, to you just trying to be on the ball so you're not getting bumped off the ball, right? You're challenging as soon as possible and you're going for demos yourself, or a very defensive style where, you know, you're kind of head on a swivel, you're waiting for touches and you're falling back to play. But I don't really see either of those two things for Michigan. It looks like they're just playing their game, and it feels like Pitt needs to do more for me to feel like they're making a change to give them more of that offense.
Yeah, a change definitely needs to come. I think a return to the, like you were mentioning, the more physical style of play, and I also think using that physical style of play to, in essence, create space, and then utilizing that space with passing opportunities instead of potentially just solo efforts, because sort of solo efforts and trying to do things one teammate at a time can work, but it hasn't been working against this Western Michigan team who's been doing such a good job at controlling possession and controlling what part of the field they're in and controlling when the shots are happening for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that regardless for Pitt, something's going to have to change. Whatever they decide to do, we'll find out. But the good thing is they're not down 2 in the series, and they very well could be had they not had that heroic comeback in game 1. You know, we're heading into game 3. We're tied up at 1 as it looks like the players are in the server here, so we're going to get game 3 rolling for you guys very shortly. But we're heading into game 3 tied at 1, right? So it's not life or death right now for Pitt. It still feels like they're behind the 8 ball, in my opinion, but they have one game to fall back on already.
Yeah, they do. They were at least able to snatch that victory early on in game 1 in overtime. That gives them a little bit of leeway, but they've got to be careful not to let it get too far away. They lose this game and suddenly they're facing down series point again. So this, if you're Pittsburgh, this is not the time to relax, because Western Michigan is really going to be pushing to try and get themselves on series point.
Well, looks like game number 3 underway now. We'll see who takes this one to push whom to series point, as we are tied up at 1. And a best of 5 final here in our pre-playoff show match. Pitt and Western Michigan doing battle. It was Pitt to take game 1. It took them overtime to do it. Took them a last-second goal to equalize, to even send us to overtime. And Western Michigan responding with a well-played game of their own last game. So here we sit, tied at 1 in the series. No score on the clock, 40 seconds in. This is going to be Higgs towards the goal, no problem for Pangea. And it was a low shooting game for a majority of the last game until things kind of started to heat up there towards the end. Do we see a similar defensive style from both teams?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think if you're Western Michigan, you kind of just want to keep playing the same ball that you have been. And if you're Pittsburgh, you really don't want to be on defense at all. You're really just going to try and push offensively. The more time you spend on defense, the more pressure that's going to build in your own half, and the more likely it is that you're going to end up making a brutal mistake.
They're on their own half right now. This is going to come off the ceiling. Rhino ends up getting a touch. Higgs, solid touch to play that away. Kaiser was looking for the dunk. Now Higgs will chip it by Pangea, and Loma will help out as well. So solid clear from Pitt. Get them on the orange half now. Again off the ceiling down through mid. Kaiser will beat Higgs to it. He didn't put it on goal. Might still be able to get a touch if he's quick. It'll fall down towards Rhino. Vision Hour just beats him out. But a good touch from Rhino does keep it out of the net. This will fall down in front. And we've seen a couple of close plays where the third man in for either side kind of getting there either right on time or just a bit late and just barely getting touches that are deflecting the ball out of the goal. It feels like either side could have scored a goal or two from long range already.
Yeah, no, the long range opportunities have been there. It's, again, going back to a recurring theme, it feels like, for tonight, where it's just the opportunities are there. The execution's not. Another opportunity for Higgs. It's going to go through as Higgs takes huge opportunity off of this wonderful pass from Vision.
And there is the team play that we have not seen from Pitt in this series. A beautiful pass down. And that's the power of the passing through mid, the midfield passing in transition. It can catch a defense out quite difficultly as Pangea just hits the top corner there. Nearly had the return goal for Western Michigan. As we pass the halfway point here, Kaiser's going to send this towards. Not going to be able to get the follow-up touch. Good play from Loma. And now all of a sudden, Western Michigan, they find themselves trailing here, which is really not something that they've had to worry about. I think this is the first lead of this series for Pitt.
Yeah, I mean, other than the very end of overtime in game one, Pitt has not held a lead during normal play. And so not a really familiar situation for Western Michigan, but they've got to try and respond. Time quickly running down. And if they lose this game, similar to what I was mentioning with Pitt, they'll be facing a team on series point.
Absolutely. You don't want to find yourself facing down really either of these two teams. Needed to win 2 in a row as Loma long range deflection. That'll be Kaiser to go up and make the play, though it was a double commit. Could be dangerous. Kaiser ends up getting played all the way across the pitch by his own team. Vision Hour not going to be able to get up to it. Here's Loma to cut it off. Minute 15 left to go. This is towards the back wall. Loma can't get it on goal. Kaiser will play it onward. It's by Higgs, but only for the moment. Western Michigan, they've got 6 shots. No goals to their name yet here, but they have been hemmed in their own half for the past 45 seconds or so.
Well, this could open up for them right now, though. The respawn's only just now happening. If they could have gotten downfield a little bit faster, it might have been a more open opportunity for them, but the ball's still sitting in the Pittsburgh half, and they're just not doing anything with it.
Well, they're playing it now. Here comes Rhino. Corner. This is on goal, but Vision Hour gets there in time. I don't know if it would have gone in. It would have been close with it hitting the post. But now Higgs, he'll collect out of the corner. Kaiser will challenge. 20 seconds left to go. A touch from Loma into the corner. This will bounce out in front. Pangea's there. He doesn't get the touch, but it doesn't matter. It bounces its way home, and we are tied at 1.
Yeah, and this is just a good passing play. Rhino gets the dunk out in front and then just pushes it.
So expert in weight loss, why were they so fat yesterday? It seems to me, and I'm not trying to make any jokes, but I do think that they ought to use our product.
First, he seems great. But second, why would anyone in the 80s take Herbalife to lose weight? They had cocaine. Come to think of it, we also have cocaine. The point is, cocaine is an effective weight loss option. It's not where I thought I was going with this, but it is where we have ended up. Now, to be fair, that was 30 years ago, and a lot has changed at the company since then. Although, when ABC News filmed some Herbalife distributors just 2 years ago, they found some claims that seem to echo the company's past.
This Herbalife distributor in New York City told us the story of a woman who overcame an inoperable brain tumor thanks to Herbalife.
Whatever it is that the product did, it helped her a lot.
New recruits were told Herbalife products help to treat heart disease.
24 years ago, I had early congestive heart failure. Nothing worked.
They even helped